Semifinals here at TJ's. These gentlemen are one step closer to earning an invitation to the TJ's Titanium Finals next January. Kevin Liu, on your left, is undefeated in this tournament. He is 502, not dropped a match. And he told me just a couple minutes ago he doesn't intend to drop a match. So good for him. Confidence. Man, confidence. On the other hand, Taylor Pratt, whose record I need to update, he snuck into the top 8 at 4-2. He is now 5-2. And trying to win the tournament with 2 losses, which is pretty rare. To give y'all an update, of course, this event is already in the books. You're watching this on YouTube. But our top 4 is Taylor Pratt versus Kevin Liu, ELVES versus Valakut. On the other side of the bracket, Dan Paine with Burn versus Nick Elaine with Death Shadow, Grixis Death Shadow. So I'm no future teller. I don't make prophecies, but I'm guessing it's going to be Nick Elaine in the finals. I'm going to sound like a fool if it's not, but that's my guess. Nick Elaine versus Kevin Liu. We'll see. Kevin starts with Mountain Go. Taylor, Forest Mystic. Taylor on 6 cards. Sukur Tribelder in play. And I want to say that Kevin keeping 7 probably means he has an anger or a really good hand, like something like a turn 4 primetime. Because really, Anger of the Gods is far and away his best card in the matchup. And if he doesn't have one of his 2, he probably has a really great Goldfish. All Taylor can do is deploy some elves and pass the turn. Let's see if Kevin can go Mountain Anger. Drum roll. No, just a Courser. Just a Courser. And go! Wow, he has no 4th land. What in the world did he keep? We saw in the quarters he kept 3 lands, 2 Scapeshift, 2 Primetime, so he is a fan of the loose keeps for sure. But man, kind of a crazy hand to be keeping. Taylor, this opens the door for him. Maybe, just maybe, he can sneak this one through. What's he got here? Just some more elves, it looks like. Elvish Archdruid. Cannot yet attack through Courser of Crewfix. All he has a 3/3, a 2/2, a 2/2, and a 2/2, so that doesn't work. Explore, though. Digs a little deeper. Finds him in Basic Forest. Scapeshift on top. Scary, but not lethal yet. Not close, even. Taylor's not going to keep. Taylor's not going to deal himself 2 damage, so Kevin Liu will have to have 8 lands to combo off with Scapeshift. Search for tomorrow. Search suspense. So, with the Archdruid down, let's see what Taylor's got. Kind of looks like he doesn't have much, to be honest. Visionary, okay. That's a start. Slowly building up the army. Slowly deploying the threats. Dwinans. point on the threats. But really, only 3 mana. Even if he has an Azuri, that won't do much. Wow. Not pretty for Taylor Pratt. He has 1 more turn. He has 1 more turn. Sakura Tribe represents the 6th land. Search for Tomorrow represents the 7th land, which is 18 damage. I guess, actually, Taylor Pratt has 2 more turns, unless Kevin Liu finds a land on top of the deck post-shuffle. We'll see about that. But he can't tap that Horizon Canopy. He cannot. Or else he loses next turn. Guaranteed. Taylor lines up a potential attack, realizes that really doesn't do much. Not only deal Kevin 6 damage, and I mean, that's just not even close to enough. So, there's a shuffle. Upkeep. Here's a shuffle. Interesting that Kevin shuffled at the end of the turn. Guess he needed that mana untapped. It makes sense. Oh, Kevin Liu. Just a shot away. Summoner's Pacting. Sakura Tribeldering. Sakura Tribeldering. Landing. Scapeshifting. Presumably Scapeshift. I mean, why else would he be doing it like this? Yeah, there it is. There's the shift. But, you know, Taylor Pratt going to make him play it out because Taylor Pratt is a by-the-books player. You can tell that he is no stranger to a high-stress match just based on most everything he does here. He's shuffling his opponent's deck after every time, taking his time, doing math, even when an attack seems hopeless. He's lining it up, counting it out, making sure. And even when most players would scoop to a lethal Scapeshift, well, maybe Kevin has all the Valakuts in his hand. I mean, that's not the case, but it could be. There's some tiny corner case where that Scapeshift isn't lethal. I mean, if everyone scooped to Scapeshift when you played it, you wouldn't have to include Valakut in your deck. So, Taylor Pratt, keeping him honest. I respect that. But he does lose. Because go figure, Kevin does have Valakut in his deck. So these guys will go to game 2. Kevin Liu, as of yet, undefeated in this tournament. Congrats to all our top 8 competitors. The ones who lost, Joe Horton, 1st seed. Tom Davies, 5th seed. Tim Tonelli, our previous champion. He won last week here. TJ's, he lost. And Ben Riley, who we saw on camera a couple times today. He had Cheerios. He also lost to Grixis Shadow, a miserable matchup. His Cheerios deck couldn't do it. He lost in a couple games. So good job, you guys. Come on back for the next one. Try and win some of Tom Shea's money. Try and win the invite to the Titanium Finals next January. These guys, though, still in. Kevin Lou, Taylor Pratt. Dan Paine, Nick Lane. Or maybe Nick All In. I kind of want to call him Nick All In. That's a cooler name. They're doing some sideboarding. Kevin Lou has what you'd expect. More Angers, Chalices, Engineers, Sudden Shock. His deck is so good after sideboard. His deck's so good before sideboard. His deck's even better after sideboard. Taylor Pratt, that's the real question mark. Because we know Kevin Lou's deck's good after sideboard. We know his deck's good all the time. But Taylor Pratt, Spell Skite for a little redirection. That's alright, I guess. Chameleon Colossus survives anger and is a real clock. I'd bring that in. Lead the Stampede. Sure. Draw some more cards. Selfless Spirit. That one's good. That one's actually good. Because you can protect your team from an Anger of the Gods. Or Valakut triggers. Same with Burn and Forge Tender. That card is beastly. When they play Anger, you sack your Forge Tender and nullify their 3-mana spell with your 1-mana creature. And instant speed with Court of Calling or Collected Company. And if you manage to assemble the dream team of Forge Tender Teague, that should buy plenty of time for Taylor to beat down. So I like Taylor's chances after sideboard. The matchup still isn't good by any stretch. But it's less bad. There's something to be said for less bad, I think. If you're listening and we're at the event, thanks for coming. Really appreciate it. Not too many people did today, you know. It was on a Sunday. It was cold. It was a week after our last tournament. There were other big tournaments in the area. Yeah, really appreciate it. If you did and have any feedback for me or Gil or Tom or any of us, let us know. Find us on Facebook. Find us on Twitter. Email us. Tell us in person. We want to hear, because this is a new tournament series. And we know that. And we're always changing things. We're always making things better, refining our processes. And we want to know. So let us know. Maybe at the one in May. So, these guys have their opening hand. Forest Mystic is the play. Forest Search. So both gentlemen have their own form of acceleration. Taylor's in the form of a creature that eventually gets +3/+3 in trample. Or rather, Taylor's in the form of a creature, +3/+3 in trample. Kevin's in the form of Search for Tomorrow, which sacrifices to deal 3 damage. So both have their upsides, you know. Acceleration is pretty good. Both these decks rely on acceleration in different ways. Wow. Taylor explodes on turn 2. Look at this. Jeez, Nettle Sentinel, Heritage Druid, Elvish Visionary, doing their best Legacy impersonation. Where's the Glimpse of Nature, I wonder? Craziness. Makes you wonder if the Beck side of Beck Call could be playable in some way, shape, or form. Whoa, Coco. Alright, this is the draw Taylor wants. He's shooting for a turn 4 kill. This is turn 3. This is the setup turn. Turn 4 is the kill turn. Let's see, find off the Coco. Pair of creatures, a shaman, and can't quite tell what the other one is. As soon as he moves it, we'll see. And wow, Forge Tender. Oh my god. Another Coco makes Forge Tender. Holy moly. I mean, I'm always hesitant to say nut draw because there's so many forms of that, and your draw could always be a little better. But I want to say it here. How is this not the nut draw? Nettle Sentinel Heritage into Coco. This man cast 2 Collected Companies on turn 3. Emptied his hand. Who traded this man that many elves? Who let him get this many? I still wonder. Wow. So Search for Tomorrow resolved, I guess. It turns out it doesn't matter because look at all those elves. Oh, wow. That was kind of fun to watch, to be honest with you. Taylor evens it up. Pretty awesome stuff. I have to imagine the sideboarding is going to stay about the same. I mean, this is not the kind of matchup where things really change from the player of the draw. You know, I mean, the anger of the gods are still good. The Burnton Forge Tender is still good. The value of that doesn't change. So, with Kevin on the play, it's business time. It's crunch time. He absolutely has to find an Anger of the Gods. There's no more, oh, I'll keep this sketchy hand. I'll keep this slow hand. He's seen the power of the elves. The power of the elf tribe is not to be underestimated. The man cast 2 Collected Companies on turn 3. What? Who does that? Turn 3, he cast 8 mana worth of instants. He got 4 creatures. The man is out of control with his elves. So we'll see, Kevin. Kevin, did you keep a hand with anger? Tell me you did. Please tell me you kept a hand with anger of the gods. Kevin! Dude! Oh, he only has 2 lands. This is why. This is why you have to figure anger's coming. You have to figure anger's coming next turn. Now, if you're Taylor, what do? Do you overextend? Do you just vomit your hand of elves onto the table? Do you just void the contents of your hand and stomach onto the table in the form of elves, little green men? Do you just do it? Do you just dump it all? Do or die? I don't have an answer. If I had an answer, I'd be playing. I wouldn't be talking about it. Do you ask your opponent if he has the anger? Do you draw the 1 Burrenton Forge Tender? Do you draw the 1 Forge Tender? Is that what you do if you have to win a tournament? I guess that's what you do. You draw the 1 Forge Tender. In the deck list, there is 1X Burrenton Forge Tender. 1X. Not 4, not 3, not 2. He didn't Court of Calling for it. He drew the 1 Burrenton Forge Tender and the white mana to go with it. This man is blessed. This man is blessed. I think it's the hoodie. I think it's the hoodie. Wow. All I can say is wow at that. That's wild. Draws the 1 Forge Tender. Like a madman, like a beast. Like he wants to win the tournament, coming into the top 8 at 4-2. This man is a beast. A beast with an elf. Wow. And he has a collected company? Is that why he's saying go? Yeah, he says go. He must have a Coco. Or a Chord. Maybe he has a Chord. So upkeep. 1 search for tomorrow. Gonna resolve. Other search for tomorrow. Gonna resolve next turn. Taylor will continue being his stoic self, shuffling his opponent's deck as though he didn't draw the 1 Forge Tender. The beast, so anger. Okay, here's the anger. Forge Tender, of course, gets sacrificed. End of turn. 4 mana. Coco. I guarantee you he won't find a Forge Tender. It's the only thing I can say for sure. Is that Dwynen's Dwynen's? Dwynen's Archdruid. Wow, that's pretty good. Taylor goes from 3 power on the board to what's that, 16 power? How much power does he have? 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 12. 16 power! The man has 16 power in play. He just had 3. What kind of now legal drug were they smoking when they made Collected Company? Wow. Beast. Lifecrafters Bestiary. Wow, that's the best Taylor has. Okay. Well, the game's not over, because that's only a Lifecrafters Bestiary. Kaladesh Artifact. Heritage Druid, draw a card. Whenever you cast a creature, you may pay an additional green if you do draw a card. Your upkeep, use Scry or something. I don't know. That's not what it's in there for. It's in there for the draw card. So Heritage Druid does its best Elvish Visionary impersonation, draws a card. Taylor now is reduced to 13 power, which can attack. Will he crash in? Is he out of elves? It sure seems like he's out of elves to me. If he had more elves, he'd just play them and draw cards. We'll see, though. Life totals are correct. It is 2020. There have been no fetching, no shocklands, no attacks this game. Elf, draw a card. All his elves are now Elvish Visionaries. Seems like the kind of card you would only be able to use once a turn, but no. No, that's every cast. Teague, wow. Taylor has it all. But, you know, I say this, and he does have it all, by the way. He does. I say this. It's still just an anger of the gods away from getting wiped. Every creature would die if Anger of the Gods were cast. This is a Lead the Stampede. This draws 4 cards. And there's the Archdruid. He should be cold to another Archdruid. If Taylor can deploy that card, the game is effectively over. Because the creatures are too big to die to Anger of the Gods. Here we go. Nettle Sentinel, okay. He's going off in every sense of the word. Better move his life pad so he has room for all his elves. Jesus. Kevin. Poor Kevin, man. Kevin, undefeated in this tournament. Wins game 1. And now we're in game 3, and he's losing. He's getting crushed. He cannot win. There's no sequence of events where Kevin Liu wins this game. I don't see it. I just don't see it. Engineered Explosives actually would be a start. Engineered on 1. But even so, I think he's still dead, even so. Those Archdruids are all 4/4s. Teague's a... Well, Teague's just a 2/2. Dwynen's is a 5/5. Wild. I want off Taylor Pratt's wild ride. I don't even know what he's doing at this point. Because it doesn't even matter. Because he can't lose. But knowing Taylor and what I've seen from him today, he's going to play technically impeccable. Because that's what he's done all day with this elf deck. Someone told me today that he's a better elf player than Ryan Leverone. And I didn't believe it. But he may be. Watching him all day, he may be a better elf player than Ryan Leverone. This is Kevin's turn. Let's see what he's got. Search resolves. Wow, Taylor, man. Might as well light up a cigarette, buddy. What a turn that was. Now, in Anger. Sure, but does that do anything? The Archdruids are 4/4s. Yeah, there's the scoop. There's the hand. Taylor Pratt on to the finals. Congrats, bud. Wow. That was impressive. That was an impressive turn. And what an impressive deck. I mean, seeing this elf deck in action. Holy moly, man. Makes me want to play this elf deck. Oh, wow. So Taylor on to the finals, awaiting his opponent. It's either going to be Nick Lane or Dan Paine. Burn versus Grixis. Gonna find out who that is. And if you're watching, just go ahead and let the autoplay take you to the finals. I'll see you in a minute.